Hollywood immortalized Alexandria, Virginia's T.C. Williams High School in the movie Remember the Titans. But when the cameras are gone, it's a school much like any other.
I think we're a fairly typical American high school and a fairly typical American city. Drugs are part of the youth culture, part of the adult culture.
Even the best kids do stupid things, but overall our kids are really terrific, wonderful kids, very responsible, very caring, and they do very well in this very diverse setting that we're in. But doesn't mean that good kids don't do bad things occasionally.
Those same kids are connecting with each other, surfing, texting, and tweeting, which can rapidly turn fiction into fact.
We live in an information age where information is rampant all over on the internet. And there's a lot of good information, there's a lot of bad information. This is hard for people to discern what's truth and what's myth.
Lecturing to kids doesn't always work. So the leaders at T.C. Williams High School are taking a different approach to help kids separate drug myths from reality.
Everything can have an impact on your likelihood of becoming addicted.
As part of National Drug Facts Week, scientists from the National Institute on Drug Abuse visited several schools around the country, and one site was T.C. Williams.
My whole office, the Office of Science Policy and Communication, our role is to get science out to the public. And the main idea is to get the facts out. We know there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of information that comes through television shows, through movies, through music, and there's a lot of confusion about what drugs do, what they don't do, and what the risks are. And so our goal in this public health awareness campaign is to try and get the facts out and to try and have them see us, the scientists, and NIDA in general as a source of information for them.
So it's a bunch of students, a scientist, some slides, and a microphone. Nothing else.
There's no intermediary. They're not going through any other filters. They can just sit there with this adult, and it's a conversation. They can ask whatever they want. We didn't put any limits on this. Any alcohol and drug question that you have, go for it. Ask them, and you will get a real, honest response. Just the facts. None of the myths, no fear tactics, just the facts.
And the fact it is not a teacher talking to the students can make a difference.
The speakers will have so much credibility, so much more credibility than kids are used to receiving. That, I mean, even your health teacher in school, while they definitely know what they're talking about, it's not quite the same to hear it from somebody who you're so familiar with as to hear it from somebody who you know is really like a specialist and knows what they're saying.
Having correct information can be the basis for good decision making.
So much of what we do is based in knowledge. I can't imagine that students are able to make good decisions without a good base of knowledge in order to make those decisions. I think they'll have a better chance of making those choices. I think just to have the facts by themselves will not necessarily lead to better choices. But without them, the chance of making a good choice is probably almost none, impossible, nil.
Allowing any question is a little risky, but worth it to school leaders.
I think anytime you do something like this, you take a risk, but I don't think you make progress unless you take a risk. I don't think we can keep doing the same thing over and over again and think it's going to work differently.
How are you? Good morning.
This is not about me. It's not about school rules. It's not about if you do, we're going to suspend you or expel you or have you arrested. It's all about how can we help you save yourself or stay away from drugs to begin with.
Parents aren't always comfortable with bringing everything out in the open.
There's always some fear there from parents, absolutely, and I understand that. Often parents are concerned, how much are we sharing and why are we sharing so much, and is that then feeding into a child's curiosity? I mean, I hear that from time to time when they feel we're sharing too much, but take the information that you're delivered at school, bring it at home, talk about it at home, and find that balance that works for your family and that works for your student in school.
The chats are a new approach, but one with promise.
You always be excited about that, because anytime you can educate and let people know that the community cares about what's going on with that community, yeah, you have to be excited about it.
And instead of reacting, T.C. Williams is trying to help its students by getting ahead.
I don't think you can ever be proactive enough, and I would always rather be proactive than reactive on something like this. I mean, their world is moving awfully fast, and I think anything we can do to give them all the tools to make the right choices is being proactive, and how could we ever not arm them enough to be ready?